My colleagues and I learned a lot from Rob, for example, presentation skills and also fundraising skills. There are some photos of the group set up in Internet in the hub. And can you please?
I've learnt a lot from working with my overseas colleagues. I've been amazed at some of the constraints they have to work with, and yet they've managed to produce a lot more than some organisations in the UK do with great big budgets. I've also really seen a lovely approach to dealing with volunteers. They're treated as real equals and given a lot of responsibility. VSO are really great with everyday support, and I'm in a very safe area, very comfortable. I can even go to cinema, to restaurants sometimes, and got enough money to send letters home, these kind of things.
The organisation that I work at is the Equal Step Centre. My role is to make funding proposals, to implement projects, I liaise with donors. The Equal Step Centre works with street children and vulnerable children who work as child labourers. We try to encourage those children to get some vocational education or get back into formal education.
Одоо би өөрөө ч гэх юм уу да ер нь манай байгууллага те нэг хүүхдүүдэд үзүүлж байгаа үйлчлэгийг бас арай өөр чиглэлээр үзүүлэхийг хүсдэг л те. Тэр нь юу юм гэхээр ихэнхдээ өмнөх одоо энэ үед Монгол улсад ингээд ядуу эмзэг бүлийн хүүхдүүд их олон болсон. Тэг хүн болгон тэдний хэрэгцээг зөвхөн өмсөх хувцас, идэх хоолоор олж хардаг те. Эсвэл тэг бүр сайн бас сургууль сурах хэрэгтэй гэж үздэг. Гэтэл тэдний одоо хоол идэж хувцас өмсөхөөс гадна бүжиглэх, дуулах, тоглох
12 настай цэглэх дээр гарч ирсэн. Тэгээд юм зараад тэгээ одоо л байсан. Тэгээд сургууль ороод тэгээ одоо энэ жил 11 дээр төгсөн. Тэгээд өнөөдөр маргааш нэг конкурстай. Тэгээд өөрчлөлт гэх юм бол хөдөлмөрийн эрхлэлтэйсэн. Тэгээ одоо тэгтээ энэ төвдөө явж байгаа. Ямар нэгэн сургалт мөргалт бол дандаа хамрагддаг.
We partnered with a UK organisation, and now we have funding to establish a summer camp for vulnerable children. The children get involved in swimming and football, basketball, volleyball, they like dance, but as well as that we have training sessions with the children about child rights, child labour, risks of trafficking, of health and sexual exploitation and abuse, to try and raise their awareness about these issues.
Манай Slinn дээр одоо биднэрт гүүрний хэрэгцээ маш их байсан. Өнгөрсөн жил хүүхдүүд гүүр байхгүй учраас бид нар хурд тэрийг одоо гол хаталж ирсэн. Тэгээд энэ орон нутагт байгаа хүмүүс маань бүгдээрээ гүүрний хэрэгцээ маш их байсан учраас бид нар гүүрний төслийг хамтарч бичсэн. Тэгээд өрөөт маань энэ төслийг хамтарч бичээд боловсруулаад Азийн сан тандсан. Тэгээд энэний дагуу маань бид нар одоо гүүртэй болцсон. Хэдийн хүмүүс ингээд голоор заавал усны гуталтай ч юм уу хурд тэрийг гаргах шаардлагагүй болсон байгаа. Энэ бол айгүй том ажил.
Global education is all about increasing understanding of global issues in your local community, and so the global education part of the programme is whereby you share your learning from your overseas experience in your home community, and that can be in any way that you enjoy doing. It's a good idea to plan your global education project around the placement that you're doing, so that it's not only something that you bring to the UK, it benefits the overseas community as well.
My global education project links the young people that I work with in Mongolia with my mum's form group and children at her school in Acklam Grange in Middlesbrough. My mum came to Mongolia and recorded lots of information which she is then going to feed back to her form group in Middlesbrough. One of the main results out of this project is that my mum has become really inspired. She's managed to encourage her form group to do some fundraising for the woods for the summer camp.
I couldn't take photographs outside. Sorry? I think the children are as happy as they possibly can, considering that they work for a whole day, and then the stallholder or the person who they're working for says, well, thanks for your help, and won't pay them. I thought that this global education project would be invaluable for my form because I felt that it would give them a view on the world that they haven't got. If the children attend school, they can come to the social centre, so that's the incentive, and this is where we're going to...
I've learnt more about other places and other people and how we're not all the same and we don't always get treated the same.
I'd like to go abroad one day and work there.
Kamo is articulate and passionate about the plight of rickshaw pullers in Dhaka. He has pulled for 16 years since he was 14, but rickshaw pulling is a wild job, he says. Rickshaws are vulnerable in traffic and pullers are also vulnerable, who let down their tyres and hit them. I have had many injuries, and also from trying to chase them away from the entrance as he waits for a fare. The police, he says, passengers and car drivers also abuse him. It is a humiliating job. The rich people see pullers not as people but as animals. They call us animal names. Well, my global education project had two halves. We had a photographic exhibition in both Bangladesh and in London. And the objectives are quite different. In Bangladesh, we were aiming to access the middle class, policymakers, service gatekeepers, people who did not know how rickshaw pullers lived, but were in a position to change the status and the services that they had access to. I think it's quite important for people just to be noticed, for them to matter. Because in Bangladesh, you don't matter if you're not rich, if you're not influential. Whereas in the UK, we were trying to get people who weren't of Bangladeshi origin to have some understanding of how people around them might have lived and the challenges they might have faced. Some people wrote articles in newspapers and other magazines where they specifically mentioned they'd seen the exhibition and that was why they were writing, where they said that they had changed their view or they'd changed their attitude towards rickshaw pullers and really felt there was something that needed to be addressed. If you get the right volunteer in the right organisation, then you really can bring some genuine change.